Hello and welcome to NewsClick. Many of us in this country are familiar with Bhagat Singh as an icon of the national movement, but perhaps not many appreciate the significance of what he did and the implications of an understanding of Bhagat Singh in the current political juncture. To discuss this, we have with us today Professor Chaman Lal, distinguished former professor at the Jawaharlal Nehru University and the author of many books and articles on Bhagat Singh, including this one and others that we will see during the course of this program. Welcome to NewsClick.
Thank you.
Chaman Lal, broadly speaking, what is the significance of Bhagat Singh and his contributions to the national movement for India at the present juncture?
Yeah, Raghu, we have been students together in JNU, since 77 and all that. And everybody from that period also, we all used to talk about Bhagat Singh. Or Bhagat Singh's name has been so popular throughout from our childhood to our now coming age. So there has been something which keeps on, refreshing about him. Otherwise, generally icons are relevant to certain age, and then they go out of. But during the times of crisis, Bhagat Singh is the perhaps only symbol, particularly this year I am observing, that he has exploded afresh, more than Mahatma Gandhi or Jawaharlal Nehru, even Subhash Chandra Bose, which is almost as popular as Bhagat Singh is. But the image which has exploded, that has been of Bhagat Singh. And particularly I think it has exploded because of the so-called debate on nationalism, which has been, generated by certain groups. And then suddenly everyone perhaps is thinking how to understand nationalism. Because it's a great national movement from Congress Party onwards to revolutionaries and so many. Then suddenly one realizes, and from child to an old man, that the best form of nationalism is in the best icon, youth icon, and that is Bhagat Singh. Now, that's why, probably because of debate on nationalism, Bhagat Singh has again emerged, though a popular figure, but in a specific context, and he becomes more relevant. Whether people talk about him, whether people try to sometimes compare Kanhaiya with Bhagat Singh, whether people, try to analyze the situation. So, that's why he's become so relevant. I think the whole freedom struggle again comes to fore because the kind of society post-freedom struggle and freedom fighter wanted to make. Earlier, if you remember, people used to talk, maybe 10 years ago or 20 years ago, when we were students, like the film made by Sudhir Mishra, Ye Wo Manzil To Nahi. Everybody used to talk, this is not the India which either Gandhi wanted or Nehru wanted or Subhash wanted, and most of all, who Bhagat Singh wanted. Now, that people were going through different phases like emergency and all that. But suddenly for the last 2 years, the situation has drastically changed. And people are thinking that something serious has happened in the country. And that kind of seriousness, that as if we are again reliving British colonial times, when there was all such overall repression on people. And this time the names are different. And I remember, Bhagat Singh in this context, when he said in a letter to young political workers, which he wrote on 2nd February 1931, message to his comrades, that how does it make difference that if in place of Lord Reading, if Sir Purushottam Das Thakkar is in power, or in place of Lord Irwin, Sir Tegh Bahadur Sapru is in power, if the system doesn't change, if the system doesn't change in favor of people's, needs, or till the exploitative system doesn't change.
That's right.
So this becomes more relevant today.
That's right. So, in fact, that's the question I wanted to ask, and I think which our viewers need to know. What was this concept of the nation and the concept of nationalism, if you
Yeah.
like, that Bhagat Singh carried with him and was fighting for.
Yeah. You know, there are two references in this context, not using the word nation or nationalism.
Exactly.
In Session Court, when they made a very, very significant historic statement on 6th June 1929 in Delhi Assembly, Bumkain, judge asked him, yeah, you shout so much Inqilab Zindabad. Explain me what means Inqilab Zindabad. This is one reference. Same kind of reference. Ramanand Chatterjee, editor of Modern Review from Kolkata, now Kolkata. So he wrote an editorial in his paper. He was a respected journalist. He ridiculed the slogan of Inqilab Zindabad, which these revolutionaries were raising most of the time. So he also ridiculed it. Then Bhagat Singh replied to both. He replied to Ramanand Chatterjee through his letter in Tribune, which was published, as well as inside the court to the judge. So he said, listen, this what we mean by Inqilab Zindabad is that a system of exploitation in which one man exploits the other, we want to smash that system. We wish that a system where there is no exploitation. So we are working to bring that system. So which means whichever land we are, wherever there are working people like peasants, workers and all that, till the time they get their due reward for their labor and they are able to live a life of dignified human beings, till that time this Inqilab Zindabad remains relevant. So, and that's what he tells Ramanand Chatterjee also, that you are ridiculing the slogan, but try to understand what we mean by this slogan. Now, if we fit this in context of nation, so when Bhagat Singh was saying this, he was saying in context of India.
That's right.
And
And in the
his-
context of India attaining independence from colonial rule.
Colonial. Exactly. Look, what kind of
India do we want?
What kind of India do we want? And see, because there were many trends in freedom. There was a trend of Congress movement, of non-violent movement led by Mahatma Gandhi, which has a very large mass following, which Bhagat Singh and his comrades respected very much. That yes, they have a very mass following, very mass, people following them. And in fact, they have written that we should learn from them how to, make people understand our views. But then there was this revolutionaries trend, which were thinking that through Congress movement, even though they have a large following, the real independence,
Would not
the
be
real India will not be achieved. And there was a third trend, which was anti-freedom movement,
Yes.
which were the, religious fundamentalists.
Yes.
Whether there were Muslim League or whether there were RSS, and this kind of trends were there, who were rather helping British colonialism to suppress freedom struggle. Now, in that context, Bhagat Singh's ideas was to spread the, consciousness among people that this is the India we want post-independence. So, and if this post-independence has not come through, that's why Bhagat Singh keep on becoming relevant again and again.
So, in that context, we have seen recently a trend, particularly by the BJP and other elements of the Sangh Parivar, the RSS as well, of appropriating many figures of the freedom struggle, the national movement, ranging from Patel to Bhagat Singh to Subhash Bose to so many others,
Ambedkar.
Ambedkar,
Yeah.
even though the Sangh by itself was never part of the
Yeah.
national movement, and all these leaders which we have named had so many differences with.
Yeah.
Today, if the Sangh is appropriating Bhagat Singh as a youth icon, what does this mean and what is the implication? What is the Sangh Parivar trying to achieve?
Those who know history, those who read history, they simply laugh at it. Because whatever is not available in history records, if you try to do that, and appropriation of Bhagat Singh is not a new phenomenon.
No.
Every social force, actually it happened when Pattabi Sitaramaiah wrote in History of Congress Party that at one point, that is prior to his execution, Bhagat Singh, he wrote on record that Bhagat Singh is now as popular in India as Mahatma Gandhi. Maybe at certain places a little more than that. Now that was a kind of thing, since that record has come, that his popularity sustained till today, rather many times increasing. Many times increasing. I remember Hindu's survey 4-5 years ago, and India Today's surveys 3-4 years ago. Bhagat Singh was one of the most popular icon, along with Ambedkar, in Indian youth of today or Indian general population of today. Now, everybody, Congress. Interesting part, Raghu, let me share with you. Bhagat Singh's intellectual streak was known during his lifetime.
That's right.
People have just overshadowed it.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you that from 1929 to 1931 till his execution, all papers of the country, of all languages, not just Tribune of Lahore, it was Free Press Journal of Bombay, it was Amrit Vijay Patrika of Calcutta, and all the Hindi papers in between, they were covering Lahore conspiracy case like anything. Front page news, 8 column news, and his statements, court statements, have been reproduced verbatim, whatever was happening. Now, and those days, very interesting, very people know, he was referred as Red.
Yes.
In the commas, they will call him, oh, Red's come into the court, and they were sending telegrams to Lenin Day, they were sending telegrams, greeting Bolshevik Revolution, and all these things were happening. I remember that when Marx was referred in those days, during his lifetime, he was referred as Red Dacoit. So he was not at least referred as Red Dacoit, but he was referred as Red. And generally socialist slogans raised in all this thing, which means, and his writings, which I refer to, letter to Ramanand Chatterjee, that was published during his lifetime. His message to Punjab Student Union Conference in October 1929, which was chaired by Subhash Chandra Bose in Lahore, there his message from jail was read there, in which he says that we cannot tell the youth of today to go for bombs and pistols. They need to, organize masses for bringing revolution. Now that letter was published. Now all these things, his views were known. And after his execution, immediately on first birth anniversary, 27th September 1931, his seminal essay, Why Am I an Atheist, was published.
Yes.
By the people edited by Lala Firozchand. And then his letter to young political workers. It was not reproduced in full, but it was partially reproduced in Hindi as well as in English during the 31 itself. So Bhagat Singh's ideas were not
Secret
unknown
or
to
hidden, yes.
Only thing is, after Bhagat Singh's execution, and to get, incidentally what happened was that all Bhagat Singh comrades and his organization got smashed. Chandrasekhar Azad has been killed before him, and many people remained in Andaman jails till 1945-46, which were his closest comrades, Shiv Verma, Jayadev Kapoor, Vijay Kumar Sinha, etc. So there was no one, to carry on the legacy at ideas level.
Given the fact that, as you say, the views of Bhagat Singh are known, biographies, studies, including so many of your writings, have been published. But yet, my impression is the general public just has this idea of Bhagat Singh as this revolutionary hero. And that's it. Whereas his ideas, the fact that his ideas are so different from the so-called nationalism preached so much today, has not sunk in to the public consciousness. To your mind, what do you think needs to be done by forces who love freedom, democratic forces, forces on the left, to bring to people the message of Bhagat Singh and what it means, which is obviously so important in today's context?
In fact, I will go back to Periyar, E.V. Ramaswamy Naikar. He was the first great Indian leader to acknowledge Bhagat Singh ideas. Way back in 1934, when Bhagat Singh's seminal essay, Why Am I an Atheist, was not translated even in Hindi and Punjabi, his own languages. He got it translated from Comrade P. Jivanandam, who was part of communist movement at that time. in Tamil. And in 34 it was published. He wrote an editorial also in Kudaiyasu in his own journal. And in Tamil Nadu, that has a great impact. At least 30, 40 editions of Comrade P. Jivanandam translated Tamil text has come. And you know, Karunanidhi naming his son as Stalin, etc.
Yes, these are
it
not
has a
coincidences.
Kind of impact. And the atheism in Tamil Nadu, even Ramaswamy Naikar's own movement. What has happened is that after his comrades wrote about him in great detail, whether it was Shiv Verma, Sohan Singh Josh and others, and projected him as he was. But what has happened is that his comrades' ideas, I hold we people responsible means we intellectuals or academia. We academia never gave any weight to his comrades' writings. It's only when Professor Bipin Chandra in early 70s came out with his own introduction, the new edition of Why Am I an Atheist, then this our academia, were shaken in their slumber. And then Shiv Verma's edited writings came, then mine and his nephew Jagmohan Singh's edited writings came. So since then, say from 85 onward, the struggle is going on to focus upon his writings. This is what I tell whether people from right or people from left. So don't accept my views. Don't accept any other views. You just go to his writing, and whatever his writings are, you accept if you love him. Otherwise, naming him all the time but not following his ideas is no respect to us.
Thank you very much, Professor Chamanlal, for this enlightening discussion. I hope we'll have chance to explore further some of these ideas in the days to come.